Hello, welcome to a very wet late autumn day, although the rain is very welcome because we've had quite a long period of dry. The garden is enjoying a nice drink, and I'm here to garden all weathers. I'm about to pot up these curry leaf seedlings that I got from a friend who hails from a warmer region of Australia where this plant has grown to a 6-metre tree in her garden. Hi, I'm Robin and I've been filming my permaculture garden for some time now, and this episode is going to feature the curry leaf tree, how to grow this amazing plant, how to care for it, propagate it, and harvest and use the leaves. I think I'll get potting and chat along the way. It's definitely a luxury to have a pot of this plant in your garden. And the easiest way and cheapest way to get hold of these is via a friend who has them in their garden. The plant readily self-seeds, and you can usually forage around the understory of the tree and dig up some plants, as my friend has done here. So these have travelled a 5-hour journey from Newcastle to Canberra, up the mountain. I'll drop that there for a sec. I have way too many of these. Let's see where we go. The curry leaf likes a nice, well-drained soil, moist, but the ability to drain through is important. You do need to adjust the watering around the seasons. In the spring and summer, it's putting on a lot of growth, and so give it some fertiliser and some more regular watering. But during the winter periods, it's best to really cut the watering down. And I find the best way to do that is to put your hand into the soil and just measure, and if it's dry for a couple of centimetres, then give it some water. Number one. Another way to get hold of this plant is that a lot of nurseries sell the plant and you get one that's well underway. I also grew some from cuttings. The curry plant is quite an easy plant to propagate. Take a 10 to 15 centimetre cutting from the top of the plant. You cut just below a node and use a nice well-drained soil and just remove about 2/3 of the lower leaves. Use something to break up the soil in the pot so that you don't ruin the stem. Following that is just to keep the plant nice and warm. The secret to cuttings in a cooler climate is to make sure you put something over the top of the cutting to keep up its humidity, because this plant thrives in a moist, warm environment. I brought my cuttings indoors because it was already getting pretty cold at night, and I had them for a few days without a cover over them, and the heater was too hot and dry for them. So one of them died early because it didn't have a covering, and then I covered two. One of them met the fate of my living room window, where it is actually quite a full sun position in its little glass dome. I think I fried it. But the other one is still going strong at the moment, and so I have a cutting. Yeah, environment is everything for cuttings. Ensure that you plant it to where the rooting starts. The main fertiliser I use is worm juice. It is, when the plant's in a pot, it's a good idea to give a little bit of feed to the plant. Citrus feed is the best choice, as the plant is closely related to the citrus plant. The curry leaf tree hails from India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and I think it's now spread to most of the corners of the planet where people from those regions have travelled and settled. And it's definitely findable in a lot of parts of Australia, particularly in the more temperate areas from semi-tropical to tropical, where it thrives in the outdoor environment. I will water this in and put it out in the rain. I think one of the main considerations when planting your curry leaf tree is actually to consider the position. This is a very large tree. In the tropics, in the ground, it can grow up to 6 metres. I think considering planting the tree in a pot is almost the way to go. In the warmer areas of Australia, the plant can sucker into your gardens and self-seed as well. and that can also affect the natural environment around the plant. The plant isn't a designated weed, but it is a plant that is on the weed watch list. You're in a cooler climate like mine, the plant is not actually weedy at all. In fact, you'll have to consider getting it into some form of shelter over the winter, as it is very vulnerable to frost in its younger years. My curry leaf tree lives in the lounge room in winter and outdoors in the summer. My region is Zone 7, that's Australian zone. I think it's USA 8B, and we go down to about -7 over the winter and have some very heavy frosts. The curry leaf tree is a semi-tropical or tropical plant, and it can handle frost, but this is just a little sapling. This one in the pot is about 3 to 4 years old, and it is a young tree and very vulnerable to frost. I think the tree can handle temperatures to about -4 as a mature tree. But for my little sapling, if I left it in my garden unprotected, it wouldn't survive the first frost. I do have a friend who's managed to keep his curry leaf tree in a pot on his sheltered veranda, and it has survived quite well over many winters. You need to think citrus when thinking about position for this plant. It is quite related to the citrus tree, and the types of climatic conditions that a citrus tree likes benefits the curry leaf tree. The main thing to think about with pruning is you want to bush out this plant as much as possible. So engage in a lot of tip pruning when the plant is young. As the tree gets older, it can grow quite tall and leggy if you don't carefully tip prune it and keep it bushing out. If this does happen like this plant here, the branches will never produce any more leaves on them, so the leaves will keep growing from the top. You can prune the tree down shorter. The best way to do this is to leave some green stems and don't just cut the whole thing back to the old wood, and you cut back to a node. If you're in a cooler climate like mine, it's best to prune in late spring. With the curry leaf plant, the leaves are what you mainly eat, although you can eat the flesh around the fruity seed. If you are going to try the flesh around the seed, be careful of the seed itself because it's actually toxic. With the seeds in the warmer parts of the world, you can propagate very easily from them, but in my cool climate, it's really hard to keep them above the 18 degrees centigrade that they need for germination. In harvesting your curry leaves, don't just pull off the leaves and leave the stalk. You need to take it off at the stalk so you're not left with a whole lot of skeletons. When harvesting, go very easy on your curry leaf plant in the winter dormant phase. A lot of people confuse this plant with the curry powder that you can buy in supermarkets, but they're very different. The leaves of this plant, dried and powdered, does not create curry powder. Curry powder is made from turmeric, cumin and coriander and chili and other spices that come together and forms the ingredients that feature in a lot of food from India and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. This plant, to add to the confusion, can be added to curries to give it an amazing burst of flavour, but it doesn't necessarily have to be added. This is a lamb curry, and it's actually using lamb that was left over from a previous lamb roast, and it's a mix of Indian spices and curry leaves. And I also highly recommend curry leaves and eggs. And also with the curry leaves, you need to give them a really good sizzle in a hot pan to bring out the flavour. They're nothing without a good sizzle. The curry leaves are also better fresh, sometimes eaten dried, but they are so much better eaten fresh.
The curry leaf not only makes a great window display in winter and adds a beautiful scent to your lounge room when it's overwintering inside. It is also a great plant to paint. It's given 93-year-old artist Joyce and friends a fun afternoon painting, and so I'm going to leave you with the elements of a leftover lamb curry expressed in art. Thanks for watching all the way through, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.